Councillor Van den Dolen, are you there?
I am. Can you see me?
Yeah, I'll be there after.
Okay.
Okay, council, I'm going to call the meeting to order. If we can all stand for the national anthem, please. Welcome, council, and welcome any of the public that's listening tonight. There's no closed meeting report. Is there any conflict of interest amongst council members here tonight? Seeing none, I'd like to take the opportunity to introduce our youth council member. I hope I get your name right. I'm sure I will. Etowah Marcinko, is that right?
Yes, you're correct.
Okay, thank you. She is currently a grade 11 student at Essex High School. When she's not busy with her school studies, she also volunteers with the Hungarian Culture Center, plays various sports, and is part of the Rotary Club at her school. Very active person. She plans to attend the university after high school, but she has not decided what she likes to study yet. She's hoping to learn more about what we do here at the town of Essex and hoping to bring youth perspective to our council table. So congratulations, and we're glad that you would like to be part of the team, and we welcome you here tonight. So let's give her a hand.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're very, very welcome. It's a joy to have you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Adoption of that the published agenda for the March 1st regular council meeting be adopted as presented.
Get a mover, please, on that one. Councillor Bowman and Councillor Bjorkman. All in favor? It's carried. Thank you. Oh,
Mr. Mayor, just a point of order. We did have a closed meeting February 22nd. Is that closed meeting going to be reported on tonight?
go ahead, Rob.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, I Yeah, I will still need to report on that. Can we come back and I can,
Can you do that?
Sure.
yep,
I
just give me a
just want
second, please.
close the loop with.
Yeah, hold on one sec, Counselor. Come back to that, Counselor. Okay.
So, excuse me, adoption of minutes, item 6.1 is the regular council meeting minutes for February 16, 2021. Looking for adoption as circulated.
Have a mover, please, on this one. Counselor Bowman and Deputy Mayor Malash. Any questions? All in favor? It's carried.
Item 7 under public presentations, we have before council this evening, Kelsey Santa Rosa from the Youth Council Coalition of Canada. And she's here to speak before council this evening, together with a presentation on the Hour for Hour Challenge.
Welcome, Kelsey, and whenever you're ready, you can start your presentation.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Let me get my screen up here for you. Right. I just want to make sure I get to see everybody. Glad to see everybody's faces. Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor, members of council. Great to be before you this evening. As the mayor stated, and as you have it on your agenda tonight, talking about the Youth Council Coalition of Canada and our new challenge that we've issued to Canadian municipalities and organizations called the Hour for Hour Challenge. So for those of you that may not be familiar, the Youth Council Coalition of Canada, or la Coalition des Conseils Jeunesse du Canada, is a national nonprofit organization. And we are the first and only organization in Canada that's been designed to support youth councils, youth advisory committees, and youth appointments, as well as the organizations and the staff that host and support them. As you might be aware, in professional settings, oftentimes you'll have professional associations that you would pay a due to, and they would offer, networking support, professional development opportunities, and just generalized support and balance for those professionals. Nothing like this exists in the municipal sector to support youth engagement nationally at all. So we're the first. And I think it's really great that Edwa, that you're joining the council table this evening, and I get to speak to youth engagement at the same time. So from a neighboring municipality too, welcome. It's really exciting to see that you've been appointed. So just in general, what the YCC, as we refer to it as short, is attempting to do is to support municipalities, their administrative staff that run and organize a lot of these programs, such as youth counselor appointments, youth advisory committees and councils, and create an online environment where you can share best practices, talk to each other, chat, and learn from what other communities are doing in terms of improving their youth engagement efforts. What comes with that on our end is actually the ability to capture data on youth engagement in municipal government. Very seldom do we see that information. We don't capture a lot of age when it comes to elected officials either, so it's difficult to know who is the youngest. I currently consider myself the youngest woman elected to municipal government in Ontario. I haven't been caught wrong on that one yet, but that's the difficulty of not having data. So when organizations do sign up with us, we actually capture quite a bit of comprehensive data on what initiatives your municipality is looking to support and things of that nature, so that we can be that repository. So with all of that said, we issued a challenge most recently to municipalities and organizations called the Hour for Hour Challenge. What we saw and what was actually just reported in the Windsor Star on February 17th was that youth are having a really hard time finding their volunteer service hours right now. Not just because school is online, but because organizations don't necessarily have the capacity to offer those opportunities when their staff has shifted. We also know that municipalities are seeing and are already in the midst of what is going to be quite the large retirement wave. And it becomes increasingly more difficult to stay on top of new trends and social media to make sure that you're engaging with your youngest residents and making sure that you're building a community they will continue to call home. So With that being said, the Hour for Hour Challenge is really asking municipalities to create stable and ongoing engagement opportunities for youth to gain their community service hours in your community. What we do as the YCC, if you choose to become a member of the coalition, is offer administrative support to your staff so that all they have to do is share the activities we have online, and the youth can send them directly to us. We sign off on the form and say, congratulations, you did it. Thank you for participating in the town of Essex. Other opportunities like watching council meetings on YouTube, which are really great at promoting and sharing online, provide youth with additional opportunities to get to know how the council table may function, how to read an agenda, and how to stay on top of local issues. So creating something as simple as an email address youth can send comments, questions, and ideas to provides that back channel and communication opportunity for youth to get involved in a more stable way. It also gets you ahead of some of the concerns that your next generation of voters are going to be paying attention to. So with that being said, that's the Hour for Hour Challenge. That's the main reason we've started a roadshow. I can say that if you do adopt the Hour for Hour Challenge this evening, you will be the first in Windsor, Essex, and in Southwestern Ontario. I do have one in Eastern Ontario already, and a few other presentations lined up as well. You can take on the Hour for Hour Challenge without being a member of the Youth Council Coalition of Canada. I think that's an important thing to state. However, you lose the administrative support if you do one and not the other. We're happy to promote and say that you're taking on the challenge and offering opportunities for youth, but the coalition itself comes with an annual membership fee, which right now, because we've just recently launched this challenge and the organization itself is on for 30% off for 2021. But with that, this is just a quick list of some of those benefits that come with your 1 year of access. We have quite a number of protected resources on our website for youth, including those activity forms for the Hour for Hour Challenge that are available to our members. Our membership benefits allow you to manage your organization's profile and the information highlighted on our member map, which will be nationwide by the end of the summer. This includes your website, your contact information, your recruitment window, youth member policies, and committee focus, etc. It allows your administrative staff to connect with a peer audience online so that you can work together towards youth inclusion. You can discuss posts, resources, and pages with other coalition members online. As I mentioned, downloading those key activities, downloading and accessing those exclusive resources and tools, and receive insights on Youth Council trends, best practices, and data that we're collecting as an organization. So all in all, quite a new organization as we're trying to tackle something that each municipality in Ontario, Southwestern Ontario, and Canada are trying to tackle. But it's really all about creating that, that ecosystem of support, not only for yourselves as elected officials, but for your staff who's doing the work in the back end to make sure that youth are more engaged in civic politics and government, so that they know what jobs are available and maybe what it's like to be an elected official. It can go both ways. But I'm going to leave my comments there and turn it over to you, Mr. Mayor, to see if there's any questions from council.
Thank you for the presentation, a good presentation, and it's nice if we can get more youth involved. So I'll open it up to council. Councillor Verbeek, go ahead.
Sure, through you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Councillor Santa Rosa, for coming tonight. And it's pretty clear you haven't been enjoying much downtime. You've been staying busy. It's nice to see you again. And I just want to say thank you for doing this, for recognizing the, you know, that the opportunity and the need for this. And so when the time comes, I'll certainly be supporting. I would love to see Essex be the first in the Windsor Essex area and in the Southwest area, because I expect there's not going to be too many that would be, you know, I think it would be silly to turn away this opportunity. But thank you for all your work on this. I've been engaged with youth involvement my entire adult life. So it's, and I think we've spoken about that before. So I appreciate that you're giving us this opportunity.
Thank you.
Or anybody else from council? Go ahead, Councillor Bjorkman, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, through you. To Ms. Santa Rosa, thank you very much for bringing this forward. We've talked at this council since we started going back to having youth counselors, how important it is to engage and how important it is to have the kids from our schools have an avenue to directly talk to council. So this just creates even more of that. So I think this is something that we've discussed in the past, not to the level that you have here. I think it's a great idea to tie it into the hours. I spent many years coaching at the high school, and we give hours to kids for working a time clock and keeping score. And that's a good thing where they're volunteering, they're coming out and doing things, but this just is an avenue for those kids that really aren't interested in sports. We're trying to find things for them that are more engaged in other things, and this gives them another avenue, and they're rewarded by getting those hours in. So it's a great idea. Thanks for bringing it forward to us.
Thank you, Counselor.
Anybody else? A question, Kelsey, what is required from the town for funding? I'm sure there's a cost to this.
There is. So the annual municipal government or government membership is $1,200 a year. It's 30% off for your first year, and it's an automatic renewal. You can always cancel that in the back end. So right now you're $840 plus HST.
Thank you much. Anybody else from council? Councillor Bondi, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you to Councillor Santa Rosa for coming out. It's always good to hear from people who are interested in doing things for our youth in our community, something that I'm pretty passionate about as well. So I'd like to see how we can send it back to Director Morrison from Finance to see how we can come up with the $840 and perhaps look at trying it for a year. It pairs nicely. We need to be reminded sometimes to engage with our youth, right? We have our youth council reps here, and sometimes I wish that we did a little bit more with them. So maybe by being forced to do a little bit more with them, it could help. It's like when you pay for the gym membership, you go and work out because you're paying for it. So I'm kind of looking at it that way. And I can definitely, as I do believe, nobody's called me out on it yet, but I do believe I'm the youngest counselor here in Essex, but I'm not 100% sure. But I would love to see how we could do it, and maybe we can continue to work together. March 21st, I have a Zoom meeting that I'm planning, a youth action committee that we're looking to do some events in town, whether it's whatever the youth want, actually, whether it's garbage cleanups or planting trees, just to try to continue to engage our youth, because I've noticed that down here as well, that everybody's sitting at home in front of the screens all the time, right? And we need to really start encouraging people to get outdoors and do things that are safe outdoors, right? It's great everything that we can do virtually, but I still think we need to organize and get some action out there. And the only way to do it sometimes is to organize, and how you do that is by leading, right? You lead. Leaders lead, right? We start saying, I got some garbage bags, who's coming with me? And then next thing you know, you have a couple students volunteer. So just through you, Mr. Mayor, to our Director of Finance, Mr. Morrison, is there a place we could find the $840? Thank you.
Answer that. Go ahead.
That money,
Go ahead, Jeff.
okay, there is $1,747 left in the Community Partnership Fund. Is my audio okay?
Oh, yeah. You said how much is left? 1,000 what?
$1,747 left in the Community Partnership Fund.
So we have the money to do it.
And so there's options. There's Council Contingency Fund. There's $50,000 in there. There's discretionary fund for individual councilors if they wanted to fund it that way. So there's multiple options. Council just needs to pick which route they'd like to go if they choose to support.
I'm going to support this. So I'm sure council, I'm not going to talk to everybody, but I think council will be on board. But if anybody wants to make the motion that we support this, I'm looking for a motion. Councillor Verbeek and Councillor Bondi. Any questions? Okay, and Jeff, where would you suggest the money comes from? Go ahead, Jeff.
Through the chair, that's all I was going to add. If I could get direction on what pot of funding you'd like to utilize. So like I identified, there's $1,747. So there's an ample amount in the Community Partnership Fund. Those requests generally go to the finance committee, but it's not unheard of to have them go directly to council in situations like this. There's also individual councillor discretionary funds, or there is council contingency. So I will leave it up to you.
Thanks, Jeff. Kim, go ahead and make the motion. Where do you want the money to come out of? Go ahead.
The first one, because some of us are already looking at those discretionary and contingency funds.
Okay, that's the council contingency. That's the one you wanted out of, right?
No,
No.
through the chair.
Which one do you want it out of?
It would be the community partnership fund, I believe she's
Okay.
speaking to.
Okay, good.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Morrison.
Okay, a seconder on that one?
Councilor Bondi.
Councillor Bondi, you're in agreement with that? Any questions from council? All in favor? Opposed? It's carried. Thank you. Thank you, Kelsey, for the presentation. Good
Thank you very
presentation.
much, everyone. Enjoy your meeting.
Yeah. And I'll need a motion to accept the presentation from council. Could I have a motion? Deputy Mayor Malash and Bowman, all in favor? Carried. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. With your mayor's permission, if I can return to item 3, so I can provide that closed meeting report that I overlooked.
Yeah, go ahead, Rob.
Just need to report that council did meet on February 22nd in closed session, both at 3 p.m. and at 4 p.m. At 3 p.m., council went into closed session in order to discuss a potential sale of municipal property, and this was done pursuant to Section 239 2C of the Municipal Act. Council did give direction with respect to that potential sale. And secondly, also on the discussion of a potential sale of property, council did give direction in regards to the municipal property known as 195 Bagot. Direction was given to remove that property from the surplus property list. Then at 4 p.m., council did meet in closed session again, as permitted to do so by Section 239 3.1. And the purpose of going into closed session was for council to receive training and education. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you, Mr. Mayor, moving on back to item 9, reports from administration. 9.1 is economic development 2021 building report and development overview for the month of January 2021 for receipt for council's information this evening.
So, sorry, Mr. Mayor and Mr. Clerk, just a point of information on the closed meeting report. So it was stated that the Colchester Schoolhouse was taken off of surplus in the closed meeting report. Does that mean no action items are needed by council now?
We made a motion to take it off, and that was supported, Councillor. So
Yeah, I just want clarification.
Okay, yeah, it's off the market now.
Mr. Mayor, my information coming out of that was that the direction was for administration just to take that.
Yeah.
What does that mean then?
It's not listed surplus any longer.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
yeah. Anybody else? Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Rob.
All right, just on economic development 2021-04, did we don't have a mover and seconder on that, Mr. Mayor?
I need a mover on that report, please. Councillor Guerin and Councillor Verbeek. Any questions? All in favor? It's carried. Councillor Van den Dolen, I still have a problem. It's not at this end. I think it's at your end. It looks like you.
I still have
wanna,
bad internet.
Yeah, I know. It looks like you want to ask a question, and I feel bad because your hand is still up. But if you do have a question, just yell out.
I'll holler. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. 9.2 under report, the structure 2021 engineering services for Ward 1 storm improvements for receipt, and that council appoint Stantec Consultant Limited to provide engineering services in the amount of $642,919 and to design, assist in procurement, and administer project PW 1900, all in accordance with the completed requests made under section 22 of the procurement bylaw.
Need a mover on this report, please? Counselor Bowman and Counselor Van den Dolen. All in favor? Any questions? Got a question, Counselor Bjorkman, go ahead.
Yes, I just wondered if the director of infrastructure might be, want to just elaborate a little bit for anybody watching to understand what we're doing here.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Sure, through you, Mr. Mayor. So this is the report that I had mentioned earlier in today's special meeting of council, which is a follow-up to the council adoption tonight of the Ward 1 Southwest area stormwater improvements. So this report in particular will get the ball moving on the detailed design for Bryan Ave West storm sewer trunk storm sewer replacement. It will award the design to Stantec Consulting in conjunction with their work through the EA and their vast knowledge and experience through water modeling and stormwater modeling and some of their flow monitoring within the town. So of course, if there's any questions related to the project or to the EA, please feel free to ask.
Anybody else with a question? Okay. Thank you.
Moving on to 9.3, infrastructure 2021-05, Ward 1 water supply west of Hollywood or west of Highway 3. For receipt, and that council approved the sourcing to Dillon Consulting and Coco Paving Inc., acting as the design build team for the Ministry of Transportation's Highway 3 widening project, to design and construct a new water main crossing Highway 3 as described in that report. And further, that council authorized the expenditure of $148,569 from the towns, and that would come from the town's water reserves to design, construct, and administer the installation of that water main crossing.
Thank you, Rob. Could I have a mover on this report, please? Counselor Guerin and Counselor Bjorkman. Any questions? All in favor? Carried. Thank you.
9.4, capital works and infrastructure. Results a request for tender for the supply of 3 pickup trucks. For receipt, and that council award to Kennap Ford Essex in the amount of $144,619.20.
Could I get a mover, please, on this one? Mover, please. Counselor Bowman and Counselor Bjorkman. Any questions? I have one question. I don't know if it can be answered. How many bids come in on these trucks? Can anybody answer that from administration? Kevin, can you answer that?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, we only received 1 bid, and that bid was from Ken Napford.
Okay, thank you. I got to see. Yeah, we did. Yeah.
.5 environmental 2021-01. Read 2021 water and wastewater rates and financial plan. For receipt, that council adopt the 2021 water financial plan as presented by Watson and Associates at the special meeting of council held February 16th. And that bylaw number 1992 be ready first, second, any third time, and be finally passed on March 1st, 2021.
Mover, Deputy Mayor Malash and Councillor Bowman. Any questions? You have a question, Councillor Bondi?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's more of a comment because water rates can somewhat be contentious. You know, I have heard, raising the rates, and I understand that it's hard, unprecedented times we're living in, and people are really watching their pennies with dollars and cents. And the report on the water wastewater rates can be found on our website, and it's very detailed, and it explains very thoroughly why we have to come to the rate that we have to come to. It's not, oh, let's raise it 2%. This is what we need to maintain a healthy system and a sustainable system. And it's not like it's an easy decision. We don't want to raise rates unless we well, I don't want to raise rates unless we have to, but it is an issue out there. You know, nobody likes to raise rates, but looking at the report, it's very justified. And if anybody has any questions about why we're raising rates, that report is really thorough. And I just want to, everybody that's going to come to me, I'm going to point them to the report and say, look at it. It's a really good report. So thank you.
Deputy Mayor Malash, go ahead.
Yes, through you, your worship. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me? I
You're
lost
very
you.
clear.
Okay,
We can hear
you. So what I was going to ask was if Director Gerard could go through just the one sheet, not go through the whole report, but just the one sheet that shows the increases from year to year, the summary sheet, just so that it's recorded on our meeting here, and if residents want to hear it, they can hear it as well. What the increases we're talking about, just that one summary.
Kevin, are you there? Kevin?
Yes, yes, I'm here. Sorry, I was just pulling them up here. So I will go through page 54 of the agenda tonight. So for the water rates in 2021 for wards 1 and 2, the base rate will be increased to $20.08, and the consumption rate or volume rate will be changed to $1.46. For the water rates in Ward 3 and 4, the base rate will go up to $20.08, and the volume rate will increase to 1.65 cents or $1.65. For wastewater rates in Ward 1, the base rate will increase to $21.09, and the volume rate will increase to $1.47. The wastewater rates in Ward 3, the base rate will increase to $22.14, and the volume rate will increase to $2.27. For the wastewater rates in Ward 4, the base rate will change to $21.09, and the volume rate will change to $1.99.
Thank you, Kevin. Anything further, Deputy Mayor?
Thank you. First of all, I just want to say thank you, Director Gerard. And then again, as Councillor Bondi had mentioned, it's really explained well in the report, and that's available on our website, Town of Essex website. So if you want to see future years as to what, because we do go out 10 years on this, and I think that's all I need to say. Thank you.
I'll go right to Jeff. Jeff, you had your hand up. Go ahead.
Through the chair, I just wanted to support Kevin there and identify that through the study and the background study that administration was very cognizant of the sensitivities related to the water and wastewater. And due to the decisions in the past of council, you can see that the increases from prior year study to current year study were minimal, where a lot of municipalities in Ontario, and it was identified by Nancy through her presentation, have significant swings from year to year. So there was a lot of consideration given to that, and Kevin and his team were on board and aware of that, and they did a good job.
Thank you, Jeff. I'll go right to Councillor Guerin. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, through you to administration, now that this is approved, when is the expected effective date for these rates to go up?
They're being put in place today, Councillor Guerin. From council? Okay. Yeah, I need a vote. All in favor? Carried. Thank you.
9.6 on the agenda is Planning 2021-05, reduction and release of performance securities for Phase 3 subdivision development for receipt, and that the performance securities be reduced by $197,082.47, and that said performance securities plus if applicable, any interest earned be returned to the developer. And finally, that the underground utilities, curbs, and base asphalt be placed on the 1-year.
Need a mover, please? Mover? Counselor Bjorkman and Counselor Vandendolen. I don't think there's any discussion on this release. All in favor? It's carried. Oh, did he?
Mr. Mayor, I had a question.
Counselor?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, may I ask a question?
Counselor?
Okay, so I'm just this is not all the money that we're holding for this project, but I did see in there that it's including underground stuff. We had some concerns from some residents about the mess on the roads and debris and stuff going into our system, which will be our system eventually. And I'm just wondering, does this how if maybe Kevin can explain, just so our residents that are listening online understand what we're actually approving tonight, and how if it doesn't affect anything with respect to the cleaning of the system. I just want them to explain that process. And then I also want to discuss whether or not there was some concerns of retaining walls. A lot of the residents had two being placed. I want to know if those were all part of this as well. And I'm just assuming they were all installed, those retaining walls, and they are all working.
Kevin, if you can answer these.
Sure, through you, Mr. Mayor. So as it relates to the questions about road cleaning, the subdivision is going to be placed on maintenance, which means that they are not the roads are not going to be assumed by the town at this time. It will be assumed after the maintenance period is completed. So only a portion of the securities that are held with the town will be released at this time, as indicated in the report. The retaining walls, from my understanding, are being handled through the building permit and not through the securities of the overall development. But if there's any further questions to that, they could likely be directed to Lori at a future time, but they are not included in the maintenance securities as part of this report.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Go ahead. No, I already did that. All in favor, the report? Yeah, that's already been done.
Finance and Business Services, 2021-04, tax adjustments under section 357 sub 1 and 358 for receipt, and that council approved the cancellation, reduction, or refund of taxes in accordance with the provisions under section 357 and 358 of the Municipal Act.
Have a mover on this one, please. Councillor Bowman, and I need a seconder, Councillor Guerin. Any questions? Deputy Mayor Malash, go ahead.
Can I just see the report up on the screen? The summary report that shows all the adjustments by category? Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. So I just want to point out for viewing audience too that these are minimal. I guess I'm asking Mr. Morrison as well. So Mr. Morrison, on these adjustments, we're looking at something that's just minimal.
Through the chair, correct. And they're generally related to properties that have been razed by fire or demolished. And it's the timing of the permit. So we can go back 2 years plus one. So that gives the 3 years. So that's why you see, as we're cleaning things up and catching things, that's why you can see the amount increasing to current. But we've been a lot more proactive. We've been working with development services, and we got a good handle on this.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
All in favor, the report, please? It's carried. Thank you.
Mayor, item 10 is reports from youth members. I don't see Youth Council Member Hoffman here, but any reports from our newest Youth Council member, Marcinko?
Etowah, anything tonight?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council, for having me. I don't have anything, but I'm very excited and looking forward to what I can bring in the future. So thank you.
I'm sure you'll do a terrific job. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Item 11, any updates from County Council?
Nothing here. No, nothing.
Item 12, 12.1 is correspondence to be received that all of course listed in 12.1 be received and were indicated to further share with the community.
I'll ask a mover for all the correspondence, and then I'll come back. So all in favor of the need a mover? Need a mover first, Councillor Bowman and Deputy Mayor Malash. All in favor? Any questions on any of them? Okay, thank you.
Item 13, committee meeting minutes, that all of the meeting minutes listed in agenda item 13, together with any recommendations to council, be received, approved, and adopted as circulated.
Need a mover, please? Councillor Bjorkman. Seconder, please. Councillor Guerin, any questions? All in favor? Carried.
Item 14.1 is the January 2021 payment report. That said report be ratified as submitted.
Mover on the bank report, please. Councillor Bjorkman and Councillor Vanendol, any questions? All in favor? Carried. Thank you.
Item 17, any reports and announcements from
I'll start with Councillor Vanendol. Anything?
Not this week. Thank you.
Councillor Guerin, anything this week?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I don't want to be a big shout out to Jane Zelko, Essex Minor Hockey. Jane was recently awarded the 2021 Patricia Hartley Administrators Award by Ontario Minor Hockey Association. The award's in recognition of exemplary service in the field of sports administration, reflects the achievements of local executive board members or volunteer staff members towards the efficient operations of an association and the betterment of hockey. In addition, it is given to those persons for their outstanding leadership within their own association, their commitment to their organization, and their overall involvement in minor hockey. So I want to say congratulations to Jane.
Very much so, Councillor. Deputy Mayor Malash, anything tonight? Nothing. Councillor Bjorkman, anything tonight? Nothing. Councillor Bowman, anything tonight? Nothing. Councillor Bondi, anything tonight?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would just like to welcome our youth rep. I would love for you to email me and we could start working on the hour-to-hour challenge along with any other council members or members of administration that would like to join and start trying to kick this off. One of the first things that we can do, there's been little ads in the paper, March 21st from 2 to 4 will be the first Zoom of the Youth Action Committee. So welcome, Etowah, and I can't wait to work with you and our other youth reps and any other counselors. Have a great evening.
Councillor Verbeek, anything tonight? No. Thank you. I've got one thing I'd like to talk about tonight, and I run this by our CEO to be closer connected with their community on special events like 50th wedding anniversaries and people that we know. I'm just going to run this by council. I think it would be nice at a council meeting, a regular council meeting, to really wish these people a very, very good, happy anniversary on their 50th, and even go as far as like 800 AM radio does birthdays and that. I think to be connected with our community, I'm just going to run that past council and keep that on your hat. Maybe you can email me and let me know what you think of that idea, like 50th anniversaries. And I think it would be good because it shows that we're really connected with our community. So I just want to run that by. Thank you.
Item 18.1, bylaws that require third and final reading. 1989, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the February 16th regular council meeting.
Need a mover, please? Councillor Bjorkman and Councillor Vanendel. All in favor? Gary, thank you.
And for two readings this evening is bylaw 1995, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of this March 1st, 2021 regular meeting of council.
Mover, please. Councillor Bowman and Councillor Garin. All in favor? Thank you. And we'll need a motion to adjourn tonight. Motion, please. Deputy Mayor Malash and Councillor Bjorkman. All in favor? Council, have a great evening and enjoy the rest of the night.